All right, so my name is Tiara Cooksey. I've been an instructional designer for over 6 years. I am working on about a year and a half here at Mount Mercy, and I love it here. My background is in graphic design. I'm working on my Master's of Education with emphasis in teacher leadership. I'm originally from Ottumwa, which is down south, about an hour away from the Missouri border. And this August, I have the pleasure of presenting at the Madison Distance Teaching and Learning Conference in Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm excited for that. And then my office, where you can find me at, is in Basil Hall in the Adult Accelerated office. So kind of to the nitty gritty of presence in the online course, providing students with a biography about yourself and a photo, or you can even record a short video. So this allows the students to kind of get to know you in a way, and then to see who their instructor is. And I've heard other instructors say that they've seen their students out and about here in Cedar Rapids, and they're like, hey, you're my instructor on the online class I took. And so that kind of gives them a presence in the class, like, oh, I actually have a real instructor, not a computer generated person that's out there. And it's always great to welcome students to class with an email. Our classes open 2 weeks before the actual start of the class, so that gives students time to review their syllabus, get their materials they need. And then during that time, you can send an email saying, hey, I'm excited about having you in class. These are the resources, just as a reminder, you can reach me here. Giving them a warm welcome is a great way to kick off the class. Students like to also see instructors participate in the weekly discussions with the students. So if I post an initial response to the discussion question, and I have other peers that are responding to me as well, it's always great to see the instructor interact and help them further their thinking, or even the instructor posing different questions that the student might not have thought about, or a different type of scenario. And that just gets them to think more about the topic, and they might even come back with more questions that they have for that specific discussion. Instructors, in class, in the face-to-face class, when we're standing up there the next night, we might cover what we learned about the night before and see if students have questions, or say, you remember this student pointed out this, that was really great fact, or this was great information. We can do the same in an online class with recap videos. We have a software at Mount Mercy called Brightspace Capture. You might have heard of it, and if not, that's okay. But Nadia from the library and myself, or any of the ladies from the library, can get the software downloaded on your personal machine or your work machine, and then you can do video recordings with that. Or we have what's called Video Note within Brightspace that allows you to record up to a 3-minute video. So if you can talk about the overview within 3 minutes, that's awesome, and we can use that and post it right into the class. Creating a community in the online class is also important. So a lot of quality course rubrics that are out there that I'll share with you in a little while talk about having students introduce themselves and interact with their peers, talking about their interests, or why are they taking this class, why they chose Mount Mercy, or anything like that, to kind of get the conversation going and getting them acquainted with each other. And you are more than welcome to participate in that as well. We do have an option. This might even be great if you've taught the class a few times and you always have some consistent questions that you get each block. We can create a favorite asked questions page. We can put it in the navigation, and then students can go there and review any questions that might have come up in the past, or anything that you feel would be great under the favorite ask questions page. So I know we have one instructor that utilizes a FAQ, and they have like APA where you can go and find great information for that. How to figure out the library resources and different questions that they get quite a bit and they want students to know before they even start the class. So another great opportunity in a class to create community is a general course questions discussion. This allows students to come to this area and ask questions about the content or ask any type of question, really. So I am looking at discussion question 1, and there's an article that we need to review. Is anyone else having problems with the link? And if someone else found the article, that they can post the link, and you guys as an instructor can come in and answer these questions as well. It's just a great area where you as the instructor and the students can communicate with different types of questions that other students might have. So it's similar to the FAQ, but this is more a student generated question area, where the FAQ is ones that you as the instructor would provide us and we would build that page out. The cafe discussion, that allows students to come in and share articles that they have found on doing their research. There might be something that's happening that in the community where that is related to the class. I know Dawn teaches some healthcare navigation or healthcare administration courses, and so there might be something in the community where they're doing a tour at a facility. So a student works there, she wants to share that with her classmates, asking them if they would like to join her. So different types of things to open up the conversation there. So another great opportunity and keep students informed is the announcements tool. You can record those or do a text-based post. That is a great way to let, hey students, I got all the grading done. Please look at it. Let me know if you have any questions. If you do, please contact me. Or it looks like 3 students had questions about a certain assignment in the course. Let me explain a little bit further here for you. So that allows students to see right up front on the course homepage any announcements that you have posted for them there. Another option within Brightspace, which is a cool feature, which in other learning management systems that I've worked in, they have this feature, but I don't remember it as robust as what Brightspace has it. So students can go in and get email notifications or text notifications on when the grade has been posted, when their assignment is due, when someone posts to a discussion that they're following, different things like that that they can do, and they can get notifications right away, and then that reminds them to go back in and either complete the discussion or do what they need to do within the course. The next slide here is about setting expectations for the students. I have one instructor currently that is testing out a competency-based class, and what that is it allows students to focus on the objectives and mastering that. And so if I submit a paper and I got a C on it, the instructor and I can work together to help better my grades. So I can go back and talk with the instructor about some feedback, and then I can go and resubmit that assignment later on. And what is happening, our students are waiting till the very last minute to do the assignments because there's no set dates on some of those. There are set dates on or set due dates on some assignments, but not all of them. And so I highly recommend setting a consistent due date So that means, for example, like discussions, you want students to participate in those early on in the week. So you could have the initial post due Wednesday, and then participation in the discussion, so responding to their peers, is due on Sunday. And then assignments and quizzes or papers or any types of other assignments could be due on a Sunday. That allows our adult learners to manage their time. So we have a lot of either single moms, single fathers, or individuals that work 40 or more hours a week taking our online classes. So that allows them to figure out, okay, so I need to do this by Wednesday. Okay, I need to log on Tuesday night to work on my class. And then the weekend, they have time to work on the rest of the assignments or do what they need to do to get that content done for the instructor to review. And one of my favorite things, because I check off each item as I do it, is a course schedule with due dates. So that gives me a big old overview of all 5 weeks or all 10 weeks. And it allows me to see, okay, this stuff is due this time, that week 2 is due here, and so on. And with our syllabus, we have little boxes next to each item where students can go down and check it off as they complete it, which is nice. Kind of helps them keep track of what they still need to do and when they need to have it done by. There's also a tool within Brightspace that allows you to set dates and starting dates and ending dates within the course. So that allows starting dates will make the item available. Ending dates will hide that content. Due dates, of course, is when the assignment is due. There is under course admin at the top on the navigation bar. You can click there, and there's a tool called Manage Dates. And what that does is it shows all of the assignments or announcements or anything within the course, and you can go through and set due dates. And you can, if you copy over a course and you have dates from previous time, you can go ahead and set those forward 50 days or however many days the dates need to be moved forward, which is a nice feature, and you can get that done pretty quickly if you do have a lot of dates in the class, which is a great feature. Another thing is providing clear instructions to the students. Ask yourself or peers or friends or a colleague or whoever it may be that could help you. If they read the instructions, would they be able to complete the assignment? Sometimes we leave out little things, and I know I've done that before, and I always question myself, oh, crud, I should have put that in there. I wonder if students are struggling, and most of the time they are because they email. But it's always great to think about the students and putting that student hat on and thinking, okay, if I was a student, would I be able to complete this assignment with the information that's provided to me? And so that's a great way. And I'm always here to help. So I'm good at putting my student hat on and reviewing reviewing the instructions and asking, okay, is there a set amount of pages that you want, or word count? Do you want to use APA formatting or MLA? Do you want students to have resources or anything like that, just to clarify the assignment for the students? It's always good to tell students if you are accepting late assignments. So life happens, and students, sometimes have a sick kid, they got sick themselves or something where they couldn't get the assignment completed on time. So providing that information in the syllabus are great practices. That way students know, okay, I can reach out to the instructor, let them know I'm not feeling well or I've been sick, I haven't been able to work on my assignment. Would you allow me to hand in the assignment on Friday or something, depending on, when the assignment was due. So if you do allow late work or late assignments, you can clarify that in the syllabus template. Quality checks. So when you are reviewing your course before the students have access, you want to make sure and go through each module and week and all the content to make sure there's no broken links. You need, if there's any spelling errors or something's been deleted, or if you need to adjust some assignment information, that all that's ready for the student before they have access to it on the 2 weeks before the start of the block. So it's always great. Another best practice is to use a variety of activities. So it's great to use group assignments. I know a lot of students will complain about that, but my view, me personally, is in the real world, most likely if they're in business or even nursing, they're going to have to interact in groups. So we can create a way that is easy for the students to interact in an online class with a group project or a group paper, or even just a group discussion or anything like that that you would like for them to do. I think it's a great activity for students to continue getting acquainted. They might, for instance, know friends of theirs, or might be related to somebody that they know or something. So that gives them community plus a great group assignment, provides them the opportunity to connect more and prepare for the real world when they get out there. So including lecture capture videos, which is the Brightspace Capture or the 3-minute video note that's in Brightspace, is a good way to explain different topics within the course, or even reviewing content from previous week, or say I'm a student and I'm struggling along with a couple other of my peers about a certain topic. So maybe there's something about some medication that I'm not quite sure what all the risks are, why they say, why there's this risk or that risk. So you as the instructor could go out there and explore that topic with the students even further. Or if you have PowerPoint, you can use the lecture capture to do a voiceover of the PowerPoints. So kind of like if you're up in front of the class and you're sharing your PowerPoints that you have developed for your students in the face-to-face environment, we can make that environment available within Brightspace using the lecture capture videos. And there's other types of videos that you can use. It doesn't always have to be just you recording the videos. You can use any in the videos that are out on the web. So I have instructors that use a lot of YouTube videos from different companies or different people that have developed a really well done video. Or there's Khan Academy or Crash Course, or there's TED Talks and different areas where we can go and look for some videos that will help with your content of your course. And then another option is virtual classroom. So this tool that we're using right now is the virtual classroom. This allows you and your students to come in at a set time during the evening or the day or whenever you have that set up, and you can meet with the students. Or students can actually use this tool to record a presentation. So you'll notice at the top it says recording. So I'm recording our presentation from tonight. That way I can share it with others that were not available to attend the webinar. It's always great to include a reading list. There's a video assignment feature, other outside resources, and students love hearing your own knowledge. If you've been in the workforce and you have experiences that you can't find from a textbook, share that information. Students want to hear the real world stuff. They don't want to just learn it from a textbook. They want to learn it from you as well. To prepare a lively discussion. So I know sometimes we tend to pose questions that are a yes or no answer, or kind of one-sided, and don't really provide a great discussion environment. So you might consider questions that have a unique answer. And then we have a feature that allows students to only post or they need to post their response before they can even reply to others or even see that information from their other peers. So that means that I, as a student, I don't see anything right away. But then once I post my response, then I can go in and respond to my peers because I've completed that assignment. And another great way to continue this discussion within the class is make students responsible for asking a question or finding an article. So when I respond or pose my question to my peers or answering the questions that they have, I need to, in return, ask another question to them. So, for example, did you think about taking this way home rather than the way you described? Or have you thought about how a bicycle is put together in a factory compared to a car or anything like that? Kind of just the conversation is going. It would just be like if you're talking to somebody in a face-to-face environment, each person is asking questions, answering the questions, and the conversation usually continues to go. So that's a great way to prepare a lively discussion. And as you, as the instructor, going in and also, talking with the students, asking questions, posing your own questions to the students, and making sure that they really understand what they're talking about, or getting them to think further, like I said before. To help students kind of figure out what their grade is and help you as the instructor, I would consider using a rubric to assess the discussion posts and share that rubric with students. So if you are breaking your points down based on content, timely response, grammar, APA formatting, or anything like that, they're breaking that down so students can see what specific area that they missed the points in. And then also, one way that another instructor or another peer of mine described it to me is the students are working on a huge project and that rubric is there, and so they know what pieces they need to do to master to get a certain grade. So maybe they only got not the excellent, but maybe the one below that. There's pieces in there that they're like, okay, if I get all of these, then I get a B for the assignment. And I'm okay with that because my main focus is really this big old project that's coming up at the end of the class. The rubrics are great to have in the online environment. And the great thing is we can build those into Brightspace, so you don't have to print them out, circle the category with the points or anything like that. It's all calculated within Brightspace as you're clicking through the discussion, or the rubric, excuse me. Instructor responses and feedback. So it is recommended that if a student emails with a question and you know the answer, it's great to respond within 24 hours. If you need to research the question to get a proper answer, it's best to respond within 24 hours, letting them know that you received their email and that you need to look into it further. So, and I would try and stay within 48 hours for the email response, so that way they can, because it might be something to do with an assignment that they need to get done before the due date. So it's always best to have it done or email them back within the 48 hours. For assignment feedback, with our short 5-week course, the class goes fast. So students are handing in quite a bit of assignments each week, and they want the assignments back so they can improve on their next week's content. So grading their previous week's assignments within 4 days after the assignment due date or the end of the week is a great practice. So that way, hopefully they are using the feedback that you are providing to them, and then they are improving the next week when you go and grade their assignment. So there is a feature, like if you have a say, a essay that students are completing and you have turned it in on, there's a grade mark feature where you can go in and set like template responses, or you can even save a document, like a Word document, with specific responses that you use quite frequently in the course when you're grading. And then that, to save you some time, you can copy and paste that response into the feedback area or into the comment area within the grade mark of turn it in. And hopefully that will allow you to do your grading a little bit quicker. Another thing that you can do as you're grading is using video note or capture to record your feedback. So for example, if you have students submit a draft essay paper, say in week 3, and you need to provide feedback to them about their paper, you can use video note or capture to record you talking about the paper. So you might have a paper up saying, okay, this sentence is a little funky for me. I'm not quite understanding what you're getting at here. Will it work this way for you? Or showing them the different areas where you're talking about. And then students also hear the excitement or your tone of voice within the video or audio recording. And then, because with email or the feedback, sometimes we can take the feedback a little offensively, or might not think of it as a great response, or we don't want students to be upset with our feedback. We want to provide the great feedback and let them know, hey, I'm here for you. This is why I'm providing the feedback to help you improve. Please seek my help. So it's a great opportunity for you to use video or audio to provide feedback to students. So if you are teaching a course for the first time, or even say a few blocks in, you've taught your course 4 or 5 times already, and you want some feedback, you can always ask for feedback mid-course or at the end of the course. We do use an anonymous survey feature idea, so that way we can pose questions to the students that your idea is what our end of course survey is. But you can post questions in there asking, okay, this specific information. I have one instructor that asked basically, would you prefer a textbook or do you prefer the PowerPoint slideshows that I provide in the course? And she gets the majority of, no, I want the slideshows because not having a book saves me money. And you're still getting the points across that we need to understand for the course. You can do the feedback mid-course, like I mentioned, via anonymous survey or a discussion forum. So there's a survey tool within Brightspace that's different than the idea survey. And I'm always happy to sit with you and help you out with creating a end of or mid-course discussion or survey that you would like students to fill out. So if you have not heard from a student, I know we do attendance the first week of the block. And if students haven't gone in and posted, or for instance, they were in the second week of the class, they participated all the first week, and then the second week it's just like, oh wow, they're gone. There might be a reason, and we can always check to make sure that they didn't withdraw from the class. But it's always good to send them an email saying, hey, I noticed that you haven't participated in the class this week. I just wanted to make sure everything's going okay. Do you need any assistance? Were you struggling with any of the assignments? What can I do to help? So it's always great to reach out to the students, let them know that you're there, and basically be a support person for that student. And again, life happens. So sometimes students need to step away, and we have, a incomplete where we can provide students if they're the 4th week in the class and the last week something happens, and we can give them that additional time to complete. And that's totally up to the instructor to do, but those features are there. And the main thing is, just keep in mind with our adult students, life does happen. It's happened to me. I've been in online courses where I've had to step away for the week, and I've reached out to my instructor saying, hey, this is what's going on. Can I have an extension on this assignment? And for me, they're like, yes, go ahead, submit it with your other work when you're ready, for next week when you're ready. And so that was a great experience for me, that they let me put my life and focus first for that time that I needed, and then turn my focus back on my class once the situation was resolved. Another thing to think about, and I will be working with faculty more on this as we are working or transitioning to transitioning the content to each block as you're teaching it. So for instance, you taught the course in block 1. The course went great. There's some feedback that you got from students. There's some things that you want to change a bit in the course. So that's kind of like a continuous improvement for the course. So it's always great to look through the course each time, because you might think of, oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, that assignment was a little bit difficult. Maybe I need to reword it. Or, oh, I found this great article. I remember finding a great article that I found in January. I want to add that to my class. So always making improvements to the course and adding content to it. For example, in the nursing administration, the information is constantly changing. So we will have a lot of continuous improvements for those courses that I get to work with on, because the content is constantly changing. So like the Obama healthcare, like that changed. Now, Trump's in office, so we have the different bills and everything that are passing there. So there's always room for adjustments. I'm here to help with just talking through the different things. If you want me to look at your class and say, hey, Tiara, I'm struggling with this. I'm not sure if it's quite right. Can you look at it and tell me yay or nay, or will this work or will it won't? So that's what they pay me for. I get to help with all the great faculty here and help improve their courses along the way. And I love doing it. I love meeting with faculty and working with them to help with their classes. Quality course rubrics. Some of these are open educational opportunities for us to utilize. You are more than welcome to use them. I also have a quality online course review that I developed utilizing the OLC quality course or scorecard rubric. So it's an Oscar rubric. Illinois Ion from the University of Northern Illinois, and then it's the Quality Matters rubric. So that is what goes into the quality online course review for the one that we have here at the institution. And I do plan on sending, when I send out the presentation, the recording, I do plan to include that for each of you, so that way you can look through it, and if there's anything that you want to, if you want to do the review of your course, you have that document there for you. So the Chico, the AgnaCole, and the OLC quality scorecard, these are rubrics that the groups of people spent hours and hours researching, putting together these quality course rubrics. And I will pull up real quick. We'll pull up the Chico one. So you should be able to see the rubric for online instruction. So what it is, it's basically, it looks just like a rubric. There's learner support and resources. So like to master that, you have to have course contains extensive information about being an online learner and links to campus resources. Course provides a variety of course-specific resources. There's an online organization and design, instructional design and delivery. So there's a lot of variety within here. The OLC scorecard has a variety of different ones that you can go into and look at. You can download those, or you should be able to even download the full suite And these are, so they have a course design review, the administration online programs. So you probably want to look at that. If you do any blended learning, so part face-to-face, part online, that's there for you. Quality course teaching, instructional practices. I mean, a lot of great information here. And then the last one, this is 46 pages, so I won't go through every single thing, but it basically is the same thing. It goes into different things. And they do extensive research to find best practices and what has worked and what doesn't, and they put it into the documents for us. And then the one that I have that I developed here, that hopefully you can see that on your screen. So taking like the information that we have, and then in the reference, I either reference OSCQR, QOCI rubric, or the Quality Matters rubric. So most of them have a reference. There's some that might not. So for instance, the grading breakdown, there's not a reference that I found within the courses, but this is something that we do include in our online master courses. So this document will be sent to you when I send out the email with the recording and the slides. I will include the slides as well. So we'll go back to the slides here. So there'll also be, for the slide, these are the resources that I use to provide the best practices for you. And it's also based on experience that I've had as a student in online courses, or feedback that I've received from instructors. So these are all links, so you'd be able to link to the articles. And now I will open the floor or the virtual classroom to any questions that you might have. And you can either use the microphone to ask, or you can ask them in the chat.
Tara, hi, Dawn. Can you hear me?
Hi, Dawn. Yes, I can.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to do this for us. This is good to have, and I'm glad you're going to send us out the slides, because that'll be good to be able to go to those different links to look at that stuff. And
definitely.
I always appreciate all your help.
Definitely, yes, anytime, yeah. And I know we work closely together with the classes that you guys, or that you and Marianne are developing. So it's always great having 3 instructors on board, and even new instructors coming on board. I know you've taught one course and you're getting ready to teach another one, so it's exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, if you do think of any questions that you have, you can feel free to definitely email me or stop by. Like I said, I'm in Basil Hall on the 2nd floor in the accelerated office. If you know where Scott's office is, I'm in the big room in front of his. And then this is my contact information if you need me. Pretty simple, just tcooksey@mtmercy.edu. Or if you're on campus, extension 1402. Or you can dial the full number if you're off campus and get a hold of me. And then I want to thank you for joining me tonight and taking your time to listen in. And if you have any ideas of future trainings that you would like, or webinars, just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to do that. I do plan on doing an accessibility webinar in the future, so we can start working on that content within our online courses, making sure that we're compliant. There's a lot to it, so that'll be a very informative webinar. And then I also plan to put some resources together in a Brightspace Classroom, or even on a library LibGuide, where it has like how-tos in the online courses and where you can find different resources that we use. So with that, I get to give you some time back. And if you don't have any questions, Again, I thank you, and I'm excited for the future presentations and helping you as you design, develop, and teach new courses.